Are people of influence listening to you, the studies, the science, and environmental health trust? Who is listening to you and who's resisting your research and information?
We believe that we are having a huge impact, actually. There have been resolutions to halt 5G around the United States. There is a growing list of cities which are passing ordinances to restrict the placement of these antennas near people to make it to retain their local authority as much as possible. And our resources are being used in many of these communities. So what we try to do is translate the science to get the science out there to for example, we have sent letters to many officials across the United States and actually worldwide. We testify at city council meetings, which are being done by Zoom now, and try to share like what other communities are doing. How many communities are saying, hey, we want to have a setback between the homes and the wireless facility. Now, if there is no other place where a cell tower or cell antenna can be placed, then we get into the next level of, um, of placement for these antennas. Because you can't prohibit service by law, and many communities do not want to break the law. So we're not condoning the breaking of the law, but rather to retain the authority, as much authority as you have as a local elected official. And I think what's happening is many communities are receiving legal advice by that becomes industry influenced, where elected officials are told, there's nothing I can do. We can't talk about health. We can't have a setback. We can't do this. We can't do that. They're just being told we can't do anything. When actually there is a lot that local officials can do. And it's really important to have our officials know what those things are, to be aware of the laws at the local, the state, and the federal level that sort of are, you're working within, but to protect people as much as possible. And then ultimately, we have to change these laws which are unprotective. But really, if we just follow the laws we have in many situations, we could have a substantial impact on this issue.
Are there any devices we can use or wear to protect us from wireless radiation?
Well, I wish that it were that simple. I would say the first thing to do is to actually um, take an inventory of what you have in your home that is wireless, and think about what can you swap with a safer non-wireless option. So for example, your computer, which might be on Wi-Fi, you could make it to Ethernet, especially the computer which is sitting on your office, in your office, that's not moving. Have an Ethernet port put in there. How about your telephone? If you always use your cell phone and you use your cell phone to your head, look into getting a corded phone as an option like this, which you can see. So a corded phone with a curly cord, even if you can't get a copper landline, there are many cases where you actually can attach it to your modem, your cable, or your internet connection. And if that's an option for you, that is much preferred. Don't have the cell phone to your head. If you have a lot of wireless things, do you really need them? For example, your keyboard. Have a wired keyboard. Have a wired mouse, all the peripherals. Connect your printer with a wire if possible. Whatever you can swap out, swap. Whatever you can eliminate, eliminate. For some people, the first step is to turn it off when not in use, because why not have nighttime be a time when not everything is on and radiating? So, you don't need to have things on all night long. I know I went to a friend's house with my wireless radiation meter and found that the son's bedroom had all of these gaming devices in them, but those gaming devices were emitting all the time, nonstop, even while he was sleeping, and he wasn't even playing on them. So learning to put things on a power switch and just snap it off, that's often a first step while people kind of figure out what other changes they can make in their home. I think of it like healthy eating. You first learn about it, you might swap one thing, swap another, and as you get more into it, it becomes like you got it down. These are the the changes you make to lead a healthy life. So there are some lifestyle changes.
Does cell phone radiation have an impact on fertility and sperm count?
Well, there have been many studies done in many ways. So they'll take sperm and put it in a test in a test tube. They have looked at people who put phones in their pants pockets, and there have been many studies that have found decreased sperm count, impacts to the sperm itself, impacts to the ovaries in animal studies, actually, and an increase in oxidative stress, which can impact reproduction. So we definitely recommend phones not being turned on when they are in the pants pocket. Always turn them off. The other thing I would add that many people are not aware of is that even when you're not using a phone, the phone is still transmitting. So the phone is always trying to connect to the cell tower. So you want to really turn off all the antennas and power it completely off, because there are magnetic fields as well. It just simply should not be in contact with your body.